Okay, welcome everyone to the Euro Healing Workshop. And I thought I'd read out today a letter from Bill McDonald, who used to have a newsletter. And this was his letter to God from the prodigal son, which is a summary of the Course in Miracles and brings out some of the healing aspects. It's always been a favorite of mine, just a couple of pages, but you'll have most of the Course in Miracles when you hear this. So this is the prodigal son writing to Dad. Dear Dad, I've been away so long, I thought I'd write to fill you in on what I've been up to. You didn't try to stop me when I first became bored and thought I wanted to leave our perfect home. In your wisdom, you knew that couldn't really happen, and you let me fall asleep and dream that it was so. Such adventures I've had, you wouldn't believe. I have to say that maybe I didn't use the unlimited creative powers you gave me wisely and ran a little wild. I was in a rebellious state, and to be honest, I didn't want my world to be the least like yours. So I made everything exactly the opposite, just for the hell of it. First, I decided oneness would have to go. That didn't serve my needs at all. So I dreamed up duality as the basis of a thought system that would ensure the continuance of my kingdom. In place of your ever-expanding universe of love, I made up, quotes, life like a carousel, seeming to advance but never really getting anywhere, and always reinforcing duality. Now, away from our home, I had unlimited scope for my inventive mind, and each new idea built on the one before, ending up with such a complicated thought system, no one could ever fathom out what was going on here. I wanted my world to be different. So I dreamed up form with a multitude of individual bodies with different sexes, colors, and shapes, and provided built-in obsolescence to everything here. It was one of my best ideas, as nothing here lasts forever. I could deny your existence as a loving God. Constant change was the order of the day. I set it up so that the only way anyone could exist was to kill in some form or other, living off someone else or being killed themselves. As a result, it meant that everyone has to live here in a state of fear, knowing that something or someone will get you eventually. No matter how hard you try to avoid it, aging and death are inevitable. It doesn't make as much sense now as it used to, as I'm not quite as insane anymore. But it sure seemed like a good idea at the time. I know you wouldn't have any idea what I mean, but I thought up my own trinity of sin, guilt, and fear, giving me the opportunity of categorizing people to suit my needs. The end result was always pain. Pain, did I tell you about that one? I found that when I experienced pain, I could not experience you, which suited my delinquent mind perfectly. Sex was another, quote, good idea, because with it I could seem to join and yet remain separate. I could even imitate your creative power by creating other separate bodies. It kept my mind occupied for quite a while, let me tell you. I thought pleasure and pain were different, never realizing they were opposite sides of the same coin. Sickness was another, quote, brilliant idea, as it gave me the feeling of isolation and separation from my brothers, and of course, you. The powerful mind you gave me enabled me to deny it was all my own idea, and in this amnesic state, I could blame someone else for the lack of peace and condemn you for setting up this horrible world in the first place. Throughout the dream, I've been searching for some new experience, never realizing all I ever wanted was to return home again. I've done everything and been everywhere many times over. In my mind, I've experienced every possible alternative. I've been a murderer and a saint and a king and a pauper. I've been male and female. I've lived in every kind of body all over the world and in every universe. I played the role of victimizer and victim and switched from one to the other frequently. I've been beautiful and healthy, crippled and diseased. I've died as an infant and lived it to be very, very old. I've been generous and kind. I've been hungry and I've been greedy and uncaring. Not that I didn't have fun playing all these dramatic roles, rebelling against you in every possible way. If they ever hand out Academy Awards for our performances here, I will at least be nominated in all categories. I managed to forget most of the time your love for me was changeless. But there were periods when my guilt of leaving you made me feel very unworthy. And I had this crazy fear it would only be a matter of time before you would catch up with me. I tried to totally fill my mind up with unlimited distractions to avoid thinking about you and your love. You remember how I wanted to be special? Well, let me tell you, in my dream, I achieved just that. I knew somehow you would never treat me as special, as you could only love every one of your sons equally. So an idea came to me. I could find someone else who would. I thought this would solve all my problems, and I would never need to think about my guilt again. How wrong I was. I soon found out special love is constantly changing and isn't love at all. After a while, the shine goes off everything. I realize now my attachment to those special people and things represented my guilt, as the purpose of the relationship was to cover it up. By listening to your voice in my mind, I'm slowly learning how to change my special relationships to holy ones. I know that I must love my brothers as you love me, or I'd have no chance of ever knowing you. I thought I made a real mess of things and you would never forgive me, but deep down, I think I always knew that regardless of what state my mind is in, or whatever I think I've ever done, and no matter how wretched I thought I was or am now, you remain oblivious to all these experiences I'm talking about. You know nothing at all of this nonsense. You've never changed your mind about me, nor would you ever do so. All through my insanity, I've had your gift of the Holy Spirit in my mind, constantly and gently leading me back to my real home with you. I'm beginning to tire of the dream, in which all the myriad alternatives always end up looking the same. I'm waking up gradually and look forward to coming home to you, this time for good. Thank you, Dad, for your patience. Your prodigal son. Any comments before we go on to a healing exercise?
Yes, I've heard that, story a lot, and each time I get upset, quite early on in the piece, and this time I thought, you know what, I've heard it so much, I'm immune to it now. And then when he says, I'm starting to get tired of it now, then I felt, ooh, again. So it still gets to me that, what a mess we've made, and but how easy it is to go back and how much love there is. It is really that it's like you just can't believe there is that much love for you, and that is what's holding us back.
Yes, that love would destroy the ego completely. Yeah, and the separation. Thanks, Jill. Anyone else before we move on?
It just made me think, I've done a lot of work on subconscious and, back on what you brought from your mum and your dad and decided what to believe from that. But it's like, really, that's just what occurred to me when you were saying that at the end. It's more like that's really only showing us that original, you know, back to the Father, Mother, God, what we've decided about that. What you said about the, you know, not being worthy and all that. Most people have got that and think it comes from being told off as a kid, you know, but it's like, where did that come from, you know, or whatever they've gone through, you know. Yeah.
Yes, it always makes me think it doesn't happen now, but sometime a few years ago, if you were Catholic and you were found as a child, I don't know, eating a sausage on Friday, there's be a lot of difficulty after you died, you know. And the thing was that the child accepted it, as opposed to saying, that's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I think I'll find a counselor for you, you know, priest or mum, you know, to sort you out. But no, we just believe it immediately because it triggers what you just said, you know, that unconscious guilt of separation, that we are bad, that we are sinners. Doesn't matter how good our intellects are, there's something deep down that says we've screwed up badly and somebody's angry at us.
Oops.
Oops. Keep running. Let's go and get another special relationship and hide it there. Oh dear. Anyone else? Okay. A healing exercise we haven't done for a while was that channeled one from the Hathors, which has some powerful responses at times where we deal with a future you in the way you want that person to be. And it doesn't necessarily, it can be anything. It could be the health of the body, it could be financial abundance, it could be the end of fear. What I've recounted here before, so I won't go into it, but just briefly, I managed to get rid of a cold, sore throat, headache, a runny nose in under a second using this. And one of the North American workshops, a woman had 2 chronic knee pains. She couldn't bend. She decided to take one knee into this exercise. She always regretted she didn't take both knees in, but she took one knee in. And she came out of the exercise and the knee could bend perfectly. Just bend perfectly. So there's a lot of potential power. And as I think it was Judith saying, you know, there is no time. We have this illusion it takes a time to heal. But the way it's explained in the course is like, this is the problem, and here's the answer. It's always there. And we go, let's go that way. There's now a time between reaching the solution and it heals. But no, it's always there. And we just move away or we think we're not there. So instant healings are natural. As the Course says, miracles are natural. We just jump a timeline. And whether it's a cut finger, a brain tumor, it's gone in that other timeline. So that's the exercise we do today. So you just relax now. Close your eyes. Just take a few deep breaths to help relax yourself. And then take a deep breath and tense all the muscles in the body. Clench the hands, make fists, and then relax. And now silently count backwards from 10 to 0, feeling yourself becoming more relaxed as you count. Imagine a beautiful bubble of light coming around you, which only the highest good can come through. And into that space, you invite your guides, Jesus, whoever, whatever name you want to use, to be with you, to take your hand and guide you through the exercise. Now you can turn to your guide, or you might already know, what issue are you wanting to work with? Is there some sickness in the body? Is there some situation in your life? Lack of money? This is how you'd like to see the future you. In these examples, the future you would be healthy in all respects, or would be financially abundant. Or you find a carer for a person that you knew who would be with you. Just choose something. Might be a situation that hasn't been working out. Perhaps difficulty in relationship, and you see the future you and that person very happy together. If you can't think of anyone, you could choose someone you dislike. And the future you is with that person in at peace, with your friends. Now, when you've got something, place your awareness in your solar plexus. That's just behind the stomach. Your awareness down into the stomach area. And then imagine that there's a great sphere around you, the universe. Make it the size you'd like, but you're inside this great sphere. You might want to imagine stars or a very bright sky, but you're in the center of this ball. And now imagine your future self in front of you. This could be a few feet, a few meters away, whatever feels comfortable. This is the imagined future self, which will be experiencing the outcome you want to create. It's your future. And imagine the connection between your solar plexus, your stomach area, and the future you. And when you feel that connection, what we're going to do is energize this sphere of this around you. Imagine a force of energy coming down from the sphere into you and into your solar plexus. It's charging you. And that energy ripples along that connection, that cord. And it energizes that future self, that future you. It lights up in front of you. That whole sphere energy is coming down through you into the cord, and your future self is there, just the way you want them to be. These energies continue to flow and continue to activate the person. Now I want you to look at that person who's happy. And if there was a sickness, that's gone. They may point to the area of the body or move their body to show that there's no problem there. It's gone. Or if you've been feeling a lack of money, they're surrounded by money or a car or a beautiful house, and they show it to you. Future you is very happy. Or there's a person there, perhaps, that you've had a problem with, and they have their arm around that person's shoulder, and they're both happy, they're both friends. Or perhaps you need some help in the house, and that help is there. Happy to be of help. Just spend some time strongly visualizing. And the future self might want to talk to you. Say, look how abundant I am. Look how healthy I am. And this is you. Let him speak to you. You may want to speak back. If you can, while this is happening, feel appreciation for that beautiful future self. That will make it more powerful. Thank the future self for showing you what you are and what you can have now. The future is a second away. By all means, dialogue with your future self if that feels right. Future self can explain things to you. So you can get a feel of it. Yes. Why not? I can have money. Why not? I can be well. Why not? I can have help. Thank you. Appreciate the help that's being given to you now, showing you what you can be now. There's no need for time. The ego invented time. All solutions on all realms are here now, if you but accept it. Become the future you now. Take what time you need to feel complete with this exercise. Thanking the future you. And feel the change. You're walking away now on a different timeline. There's a strong sense of expectation. When you're ready, we'll have some time to share together. Welcome back. Welcome back. Anyone want to share anything with the group from that exercise?
I should explain why I came out of the meditation so fast. I was just, I don't know whether you noticed, maybe you didn't, which is a good thing. But I did what you were saying. And but then something happened and I did not go to sleep, but I just went off somewhere and there was nothing, absolutely nothing. And in fact, I don't even remember any of it. It was like I went to sleep, but honestly, I didn't go to sleep because I was aware of the dog whining in the background there. But then I suddenly went, oh, they're probably waiting for me. And then I didn't know whether you'd said come out of it and I didn't hear a word you said. And then I went, oh, I better come out of this. And then you're still all meditating.
Yes, they were for another 1 or 2 minutes.
I know. And I went, oh, I don't know what just happened. I don't know what happened. I lost all track of time and nothing. There was nothing. I don't remember. It's like I died.
Was it like a void?
Pardon?
Was void a good word for it?
Well, I don't remember any of it until I just went, oh.
This is very interesting. So,
but I do know that while I was so immersed. That's not true that I don't remember any of it. Now I think of it. I was so immersed in what was going on, I forgot that we were doing a meditation.
right.
You know what I mean? Like it was just.
Oh, I'd love you to say more. I know it's a difficult thing, but you just got catapulted into a state. You used the word nothingness, but
Yeah.
was there something in the nothingness as well? Was there a feeling?
There was, because the last thing I remember is you said, oh, look at this other self, and you can be that other self.
Mm-hmm.
But then out of that, I got this really, like I was numb, like I felt numb, which happens a lot. But then a man appeared in robes, and we all know who that is in my meditations, and he was holding a light in his hand like that. And then I was just walking with him, and that really was it. But I was so immersed in that. So I was walking with this guy with his light, and I was so involved in that I completely forgot I completely forgot you guys were there.
Sure. And it sounded like a very positive experience, Jill.
Yes, it was. It was really nice. But then I was really like a little bit embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh.
You'll be late for everyone. Everyone wasn't there.
And then I looked and went, but nobody's got their eyes open yet. And it was ages. It was absolutely ages before you came back. And I thought, what happened there? Because I don't know if you'd already asked them, because then I didn't hear anything you said after that.
Well, before you came out of it, I said, when you're ready, return to the room. And then they were gone for so long.
They were gone for long. You guys were a long time.
After that, I said, well, when you're ready, we'll share, just in case.
To try and encourage them. I was so embarrassed, like, oh my God.
What a wonderful experience, Jill. You seem to have catapulted into a mystical state.
Weird.
Still, I'm just curious, do you sit down and meditate at home from time to time? And
Oh yeah, yeah,
do things like this happen?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I remember
But it's never
before.
happened here in
Yeah, right.
public.
In public.
Yes.
The mystic goes public. Oh, sounds wonderful, Jill. Well, I feel honoured that you were listening to part of what I said.
I know it doesn't
That's an
happen very
improvement.
often, does
I'm
it?
going to lose you in the first few seconds. You're gone somewhere. That guy in robes turns up and
Oh
no one pays
yeah,
attention to him.
he's always going to have one over on you, I'm afraid.
Yeah, bugger. I'll have a word with him if I ever catch up with him.
Oh, you will.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that was great. Lovely, Jill. Anyone else want to share anything?
You're muted, Kevin.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's just a quick share. I was telling Jill I won't go into same sort of stuff, but it did remind me as she was talking of when I first went into it, invited Jesus and Team Light, if you like, and you know, every man and his dog basically. It was good, but then because I know you said it's the Hathor's exercise. There's this light that came through and it seemed to nudge everybody else out of the way. And I got the feeling it was Hathor, right? It wasn't any physical look at a woman or anything like that. It was just like a really light, bright sort of light, perhaps sort of multicolored, but anyway. And so I sort of said to Jesus that, is it all right if it suits you because I invited you first? And he says, yeah. And then I got the feeling it was yeah, right. So she was there, sort of facilitating it, and then didn't say anything, but was, and then I did this sphere thing, what you said and everything. Got my higher self, not higher self, my future self there, touched by this like umbilical, because his future tried to make his go to beard slightly grayer to give me that perspective. There was a bit in the future, you know, and the only message that I got, because I don't tend to hear many things, or I don't feel that I do, but I said, have you got a message for me, sort of thing? And he just said, yeah, lighten up and light up, right? So that which was a bit, oh wow. So, and then because I'm a bit technical, I said, do you mean light up as in myself, or light up as in light something up? And I used to play with solar panels and stuff, lights. Oh, what do you mean? Well, maybe it's a bit of both, sort of thing, you know. So, but certainly light and well, so that was the main theme that I got from it. I just gave him gratitude and stuff. I got quite emotional actually. And I was giving gratitude and I love you and all that, you know.
Great.
So that was yeah.
Great.
So that was it really.
And I should say that the Hathor exercise was brought through by a man called Tom Kenyon. And one of the after exercise instructions they gave was make some gesture in your daily life that illustrates the future self. So if you were dealing with more money and you don't normally go out and buy, I don't know, an organic vegetable because it's too expensive, you go out and buy an organic vegetable. Or if you don't think you have much energy, you go out and you walk a bit further. It's a gesture that the future self is just about to touch you, you know? It reinforces the manifestation.
Brilliant.
Anyone else before we close tonight?
Where can we find this exercise to do it again?
Yes. Well, do you mean to read it or hear it?
Read.
Read. Okay. I can post it. I can actually post it on here. So you can carry on sharing. I can listen and I can just bring up the Hathor exercise as a PDF. I think would be a good idea. and I can just put it on the chat, and you can click on it and it will come into your computer. That's coming up on my search now.
Will that work on the phone as well?
Yes, it will. It would show on the phone. Let's see. I've got a ton of Hathor here by the looks of it. Here we are.
Tom Kenyon, he's got an amazing voice, isn't he?
Yes, and I got the longer version. You got the sort of shorter version. The longer version has more explanations. So what I'll do now I've found it. Bring up Zoom. Bring up the chat. And we'll should be able to drag it on. Here she comes, I hope. Okay, looks like we have to select it. Okay, select file, your computer. Almost there, folks. Desktop. There it is. Okay, it's loading up. If you have a look on your chat screen now, it's
And
loading.
I click on the arrow.
So you see the sphere of all possibilities, and you'll see a
Yeah.
double click, 2 clicks. If you can drag it to the desktop as well. Click and drag to the desktop.
No.
Can you drag it to the desktop, Paul? Click, hold the click
Mm,
and move it to the desktop.
No. I am not able to drag to the desktop.
Okay, can you double click the icon? It will
I
open.
have that. Ah,
I can't see it.
okay. Okay.
Anyone else having trouble?
I can't see it.
You're on the phone, are you?
Yes, mate. There's a chat, and if I click on the chat, it's just like the text box has come on, you know. And then it says message settings, whiteboard, disconnect audio. Don't press that.
Kevin, your email address, is it Kevin Sheath?
No, it's electricmover@gmail.com.
Electric.
Yeah, electric mover, all one word.
Okay, I'll type this in slowly. So, or maybe I just
Shall I
stop.
put it in the chat? Shall I write it in the chat?
Write it in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else having problems?
No. Talking of organic vegetables, where I live, organic broccoli is $22 a kilo.
Gone up, and so are Brussels sprouts where I live. It's
Isn't that insane?
yes, we must be prepared for food shortages for a number of reasons. Prices will be going up.
I have never gone shopping for food and looked and shaken my head before, ever. It's like, what? I can't do this. I haven't bought it.
Yes, sign of the times, I'm afraid. Oh, thanks, Kevin. That's great. So electricmover@gmail.com. How about that? Okay. I've copied that. I'll put it into your email.
Bless you.
I'm lucky my fruit and veg organic place, they haven't gone up. But yeah, in the supermarket, they're almost the same price as the organic.
I know, crazy stuff. Okay, my friends, I think everyone's got the exercise one way or the other. So good to be with you. I hope your manifestations come true and the price of Brussels sprouts goes down.
But the actual recording, that goes onto Mining Network, doesn't it?
I'll be posting that this evening. So if you want to do the exercise again, The exercise, I always do it slightly different, is also on my YouTube channel. And it's also now on the intensive timer app. It's a very popular app, 18 million. So I put most of my exercises on intensive timer. It's a free app. If you download it and put in my name.
Intensive timer.
Have I got the right thing? I just checked that I've got the right thing there. Insight timer. Sorry, insight timer.
Okay.
Down that, and there's a million exercises and meditations, and I put my stuff on there as well. Insight timer. And if you ever want to broadcast the stuff you do, especially exercises, you can join them and upload them. Sometimes you get donations, sometimes they pay you a little. Depends how many people come and view. But it's very, on any one day, there's 500,000 people on that app. Gives you an idea how big it is. Yeah. Okay, my friends, lovely to be with you. And the next time will be a new workshop. The quiet mind and the open heart. There you are. Something we all need or increase. Okay, all the best for now.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
See you
Bye,
soon.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.